Most men have the idea of an alpha man completely backwards. They think an alpha is the guy who dominates conversations, flexes his ego, talks over people, and tries to win every interaction. That image is a myth. Real alpha men almost never behave that way. In fact, some of the strongest men you will ever meet barely say anything at all when they walk into a room. They do not need to. Their presence speaks louder than their words. Their discipline shows up before their personality. Their habits create respect long before their personality has a chance to impress anyone. This is where most men fall behind. They focus on looking confident instead of becoming confident. They imitate the surface-level traits of strong men. They try to sound dominant without actually being dominant. They push their personality louder because they do not trust themselves internally. And the more they try to show the world that they are powerful, the more it reveals their insecurity. The truth is that real masculine strength is not built through performance. It is built through private habits, quiet habits, consistent habits, habits that most guys overlook because they do not create quick results or instant validation. Think about the men you respect the most. They are never frantic. They are never complaining. They are never trying to convince you of who they are. They know themselves. And self-knowledge produces calm strength. It shows up in the way they sit, the way they move, the way they make decisions, and the way they communicate. These men are not trying to outperform anyone. They are simply living according to the standards they set for themselves. That is why their presence hits differently. What separates these men from everyone else are not loud traits, but silent habits. Habits that shape their mindset, sharpen their focus, and strengthen their identity. If you master even a few of these, you will start to move differently. People will feel it. You will feel it. Not because you are trying to project confidence, but because you naturally embody it. Welcome to the channel. If you want to develop real confidence and understand masculine psychology in a practical and grounded way, you are in the right place. Today, we are going deep into the 7 silent habits of true alpha men and why most guys never master them. The habit of controlled emotion. A true alpha man leads himself before he leads anyone else. And the strongest form of leadership begins with emotional control. Controlled emotion does not mean shutting everything down. It does not mean being cold or numb. It means you decide how you feel, how you respond, and how you interpret the situation in front of you. Weak men explode when they are frustrated. They panic when life gets difficult. They react before they think. Their emotions run the show, and they pay the price later. But a man with controlled emotion operates from clarity, not chaos. Controlled emotion allows you to move through stressful situations with confidence. It gives you the ability to communicate with strength instead of aggression. It keeps your mind sharp when everyone else is overwhelmed. When a man has emotional control, people trust him because he does not shift based on pressure or mood. He remains centered. He remains stable. He remains grounded. This stability is rare in men today, which is why it stands out instantly. Controlled emotion also protects your time and energy. You stop wasting mental power on anger, insecurity, or unnecessary conflict. Instead, you use your emotion as fuel. You redirect it into action. You use it to push forward instead of breaking down. And the more control you develop, the more confidence you build, because you start to trust yourself in challenging situations. If you want to feel like an alpha man, start by mastering your emotional state. Practice staying calm when you want to overreact. Practice breathing through stress instead of panicking. Practice responding instead of reacting. When your emotions are under your command, so is your entire life. The habit of strategic solitude. Most men avoid being alone because silence forces them to confront themselves. But solitude is one of the strongest tools a man can use to build identity. Strategic solitude means choosing time alone to think, evaluate, plan, and reconnect with your direction. It is not loneliness. It is not isolation. It is intentional time spent strengthening your mind. When a man learns how to use solitude, he becomes harder to influence and almost impossible to manipulate. His decisions come from his own values instead of outside pressures. His goals are shaped by his vision rather than the expectations of others. He stops needing approval because he builds confidence through inner understanding, not social validation. In solitude, you learn who you are without noise. You learn what genuinely motivates you. You learn what you truly want from life. And when you know these things, you stop chasing distractions. You stop relying on people to give you direction. You become more independent and more grounded. Strategic solitude also sharpens your focus. Without interruptions, you think more clearly and solve problems faster. Your mind becomes organized. Your priorities become defined. And your confidence grows because clarity creates certainty. If you want to build strength quietly, spend more intentional time alone. Learn to enjoy your own company. Learn to hear your own thoughts without fear. The more comfortable you become in solitude, the stronger and more centered you become. The habit of decisive movement. Indecision kills confidence faster than failure. Every time you hesitate, you train your mind to doubt itself. You create a habit of questioning your own judgment. Alpha men avoid this trap by practicing decisive movement. They choose a direction and move. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not overthink. They trust themselves enough to take action and adjust along the way. Decisive movement builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds identity. Even when the outcome is uncertain, decisive men act, because action builds clarity. Failure is not the enemy. Hesitation is. You can recover from mistakes. You cannot recover from doing nothing. A decisive man stands out instantly. While others delay, he moves. While others look for permission, he leads. While others want guarantees, he takes calculated risks. This behavior signals strength because it shows that you believe in your ability to adapt. If you want to become more decisive, start small. Make quick decisions on the little things. Build momentum through repetition. Over time, your mind learns that it can trust itself. And when trust grows, hesitation dies. The habit of unreactive strength. Most men react to everything. They get offended easily. They feel threatened by simple disagreements. This reactive behavior exposes insecurity. Strong men practice the opposite. They remain unreactive. They pause before responding. They observe instead of assuming. They choose their reaction with intention. Unreactive strength is not about being passive. It is about being powerful enough to stay in control. When you are unreactive, people cannot push you off center. They cannot provoke you. They cannot manipulate your emotions. This makes you unpredictable in a good way because you operate from stability, not impulse. Being unreactive also increases respect. People feel safer around you. They trust your judgment. They see you as someone who handles life with maturity. And the less reactive you are, the more others reveal themselves because they cannot sway you with emotion. If you want to feel stronger instantly, practice unreactive behavior. Delay your response by a few seconds. Observe before speaking. Choose strength instead of impulse. Your presence will become more commanding without you raising your voice. 5. The habit of personal standards. Your standards define your identity. They determine what you accept, how you behave, and how others treat you. Most men lower their standards to fit in or avoid conflict. Alpha men do the opposite. They raise their standards and enforce them consistently. A man with standards does not tolerate disrespect. He does not settle for weak effort. He does not sacrifice his values for approval. He holds himself to a level that aligns with the man he wants to become. And people feel that immediately. Standards create self-respect. Self-respect creates confidence. Confidence creates presence. When you enforce your standards, you naturally become more disciplined because you refuse to live below your potential. You stop making excuses. You stop chasing people who do not value you. You stop wasting time on things that weaken you. Set standards for your health, your work, your relationships, and your habits. Enforce them calmly. When you hold the line, the world rises to meet you. A habit of intentional presence. Presence is one of the rarest masculine qualities today. Most men are half aware, half distracted, and mentally scattered. But alpha men practice intentional presence. They focus fully on the moment. When they speak, they are clear. When they listen, they are attentive. When they work, they are committed. When they rest, they are fully relaxed. Presence shows confidence because it takes strength to be fully engaged. It requires discipline. It requires focus. And it sends a powerful message. People feel valued around you. They feel your attention. They feel your certainty. Intentional presence also boosts your effectiveness. When you give something your full focus, you perform better. You notice details others miss. You think more clearly. You solve problems faster. Presence makes you more attractive, more respected, and more influential. If you want to sharpen your presence, reduce distractions. Put your phone away when you talk to someone. Focus on the task in front of you. Train your mind to stay where your body is. The more presence you develop, the stronger your aura becomes. 7. The habit of self-honor. A man who honors himself becomes unstoppable. Self-honor is the root of masculine strength. It determines your boundaries, your behavior, and your relationships. When you honor yourself, you move through life with integrity. You act according to your values. You protect your dignity. You refuse to betray yourself for attention or approval. Self-honor makes you walk differently. It makes you speak differently. It shapes your decisions. It gives you a calm confidence because you know you are living in alignment with who you want to be. Most men abandon their self-respect for validation. They chase people who do not value them. They break their own boundaries. They tolerate situations that weaken them. But a man who honors himself refuses to do that. He operates from identity, not insecurity. And that identity creates natural leadership. If you want to build unshakable confidence, start by honoring yourself. Live by your values. Stay true to your standards. Respect your time and your energy. When you honor yourself consistently, the world reflects that respect back to you. Real confidence does not come from trying to look strong. It comes from becoming a man who trusts himself. These 7 silent habits shape your identity, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your presence. If you start practicing them even in small ways, you will feel the shift. You will move differently. People will treat you differently. Your life will change from the inside out. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps more men develop real confidence and grounded masculine strength.